Codemasteres are categorically one of the most prestigious driving game developers in the industry, and I'd argue that the Dirt Rally franchise is the pinnacle. Dirt Rally 2.0 is the second installment in Codemasteres' hardcore rally sim franchise and builds on the impressive foundations of the copious amount of previous rally games. The fantastic driving physics, impeccable sound design, and large variety of car types makes for a well-rounded experience, perfect for any rally enthusiast who doesn't fancy actually slamming themselves into a group of trees. In Dirt Rally 2.0, you're thrown straight into the deep end without a single tutorial in sight. You're quite literally forced to learn the hard way, by getting in a car and hurtling around a track and into a few fences for the beginning multitude of hours you play. If you want to sit back, relax, and have a simple driving game to play, this game is probably not going to be for you. It implements hyper-realistic physics, damage, and weather that all combine to make an incredible high-octane but hard game to play. You need to know how to rally drive if you want any hope of flinging a Subaru Impreza around like Colin McRae in this game.
Right.
Tremendous difficulty aside, driving feels great. In Dirt Rally, it's all about throttle control. Flat-out acceleration will end in repeated failure. Feathering the throttle and alternating the brakes will allow you to slide around the course with no trouble. I actually watched an interview with Colin McRae on his driving techniques, and implementing these in-game actually worked. Of course, the game is at its best with a driving wheel. After a couple of hours, I was able to get through multiple clean stages using just DualShock 4 with glee. As you'd expect, the settings menu would allow you to adjust driving aids with ridiculous detail, including clutch control and the ability to manually control your window wipers. Terrain types all play a part in the gameplay as well, with looser or wetter surfaces giving you far less traction than, say, dry tarmac, obviously. Meaning as soon as you get into the swing of things, the next stage will be on gravel and you'll have to start learning to drive all over again. This stops the game getting stale, as every stage feels completely different. The only downside here is course variety. There aren't many locations to choose from, and each location only has a handful of stages. And the Rallycross mode doesn't add a tremendous amount of options either. The game's variety primarily comes from its choice of cars, although I generally found a car I was comfortable with and stuck with it. Career mode is unfortunately a tad drab. It's made up of completing championships to win credits, which can then be used to upgrade your cars and your team, as well as purchase new cars for different classes, which in turn gives you a larger selection of championships to enter. There is also a range of daily and weekly online challenges that limit you to specific cars or courses for a place on the online leaderboards. However, in most of these, if you don't already own the required car, you can't enter. Championships themselves, however, is where the career mode shines. As you complete each stage, you have to think about how you want to maintain your car, as damage doesn't reset. If you end a stage with a damaged wheel, you'll start the next stage with said wheel still damaged. Repairs, of course, take time, and you only have 30 minutes allotted between stages, meaning you need to consider what's more important to get repaired and to what degree. You don't want to get stuck on a night stage, for example, without any working headlights.
Caution 20. Right.
The biggest issue with career mode is its constant and frankly absurd need to be always connected to the internet. I see no discernible reason for this, and too many times was I not able to play the game because the RaceNet servers were unavailable. Outside of career mode, you have free play, time trials, and custom championships. Although I don't really see a need to play these, as in reality it's the same gameplay just without any progression system. I guess if you're playing with some mates one evening, the time trials could be a laugh, but otherwise this feels like an unnecessary inclusion just to make the game a bit more packed out.
Start 300, 5 right, into don't cut, 3 left tightens, into 4 right, good luck.
Cars look and sound fantastic, and the dynamic hardcore damage really drives home just what you're putting the machines through. Unfortunately, the same can't be said about the environments that don't look particularly special, although in fairness, you don't really notice that while hurtling a car around anyway. I don't, however, see any huge improvements on the original Dirt Rally from 2016, other than some better lighting and maybe some more realistic particle effects. There doesn't seem to be much of an upgrade visually. Disappointing considering how much other games have progressed in this time frame.
Okay, keep up the pace, you're pulling away from the car behind.
Despite some annoying negatives, if you're a fan of Rally, the game is pretty addictive. Career mode does enough to keep my attention, and the fantastic gameplay makes for hours of game time, and I'd recommend it for anyone who likes the genre. Just don't expect to be particularly good at it for a little while.